Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. Thank you for the opportunity to present SCR12, which urges Congress to amend the Internal Revenue Code to make spaceports eligible for tax-exempt private activity bonds. Texas has long been at the forefront of space exploration, being home to NASA's Johnson Space Center, the birthplace of mission control for the Apollo moon landings, and a cornerstone for our nation's space history. Our state's business-friendly environment and world-class research institutions have attracted leading aerospace companies, including SpaceX and Firefly Aerospace. Notably, SpaceX, located in Senate District 27, has transformed Boca Chica into a hub of innovation, driving economic growth and creating new opportunities for surrounding communities. The company has significantly improved local infrastructure, including roadways and utilities, while fostering educational partnerships to inspire the next generation of engineers and scientists. Currently, the IRS permits tax-exempt private activity bonds for specific infrastructure as economic development projects such as airports, docks, rail and mass transit facilities, and water and sewage facilities. These projects receive tax-exempt financing because they provide supporting commerce, transportation, and infrastructure development. Spaceports serve a similar role, acting as launch and landing sites that facilitate commercial space travel, research, and national security interests. To ensure Texas remains at the forefront of space exploration nationally and globally, we must align our financing tools with the evolving needs of the aerospace industry. By recognizing spaceports as critical infrastructure, we can ensure that Texas continues to drive the future of commercial space travel and scientific discovery. Thank you for your time. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Good. Members, any questions? Great. We don't have any witnesses registered. Is there anyone that would like to testify on, for, or against SCR12? Hearing nor seeing none, public testimony is closed. This bill will be left pending, if that's all right, subject to the call of the chair.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me see. 856. Okay. Chair lays out Senate Bill 856 and recognizes Senator Flores to explain his bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members. Senate Bill 856 has to do with the Texas A&M Engineering Experiment Station. That's a state research agency that aims to solve our workforce and economy's growing bioscience and biotech needs through professional education. This bill amends the Labor Code to provide Texas A&M Engineering Experiment Station access to the Texas Skills Development Fund for the purpose of providing industry-specific job training to address local workforce needs that are currently unmet, including the Texas Engineering Experimental Station as an entity able to access this fund will provide an opportunity for this program to expand to meet the growing demands of STEM industries and advance the economic development of the state. And that is Senate Bill 856.
Great. Members, any questions for Senator Flores? All right. That we're going to open for public testimony. Chair calls Mary York, Texas Workforce Commission, and she's registered on the bill as a resource witness in Victoria Ford, Texas Health Care and Bioscience Institute. I think it's on. Tap it. No? Try it again. I do? Okay. Well, then I ought to turn it on. There. So if you would please state your name for the record and if you're and who you represent and if you're testifying on, for, or against the bill.
Thank you. My name is Mary York, and I represent the Texas Workforce Commission, and I am here on the bill as a resource.
Great. Members, any questions for the witness? Great. Thank you. Ms. Ford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Victoria Ford. I represent the Texas Healthcare and Bioscience Institute, and I represent the life science and biotech industry across the state. It's over 9,200 jobs and employers and over 130,000 employees in the state. And we support the addition of the Ag Engineering Experiment Station to the Skills Development Fund. They are working in a partnership with a dozen community colleges all across the state to develop a consistent standard entry-level biotech certification. And this, if they qualify, if they apply and they qualify for the Skills Development Fund, that would provide the hands-on training portion of that training course. So at any one of those community colleges, they would get the curriculum, and then they would come to the National Center for Therapeutics Manufacturing, which is a facility in Senator Schwartner's district at A&M, and they would get a 2-week hands-on training course so that they could actually learn how to use the biotech equipment, centrifuges and clean rooms and all of those hands-on practices. But of course, the project would have to qualify for all the requirements of the Skills Development Fund, and it would have to meet all of the same restrictions and all of the rules for the fund that everyone else would have to in the Skills Development Fund. But we're very excited about this project because this kind of entry-level training and certification will help Texas move forward significantly in creating more biomanufacturing in this state.
Right.
I'm happy to answer any questions.
Good. Members, any questions?
Quick question.
Senator Johnson.
Is there anyone who loses money as a result of this bill passing?
No, the Skills Development Fund is there is a process right now in the budget for the Skills Development Fund to get additional funding in it. The grants inside of it are competitive, if I understand correctly, and you have to apply and you have to receive them. So this is adding another person who could apply and receive the funds. But I will defer to Mary, who is more detailed, specific.
So theoretically, and please correct me if I got this wrong, if somebody could lose, it just opens it up to more competition, perhaps to a more meritorious project. But the legislature could also appropriate more funding, and thereby no one would lose money. We would just have more skilled people to work in our state.
Correct, and there is currently an addition to that fund being considered in finance.
Would we deem that
appropriations.
appropriate?
Yes, this bill would add another eligible applicant, expanding the pool of entities who could apply, who would qualify for the Skills Development Fund.
Thank you.
Good. Members, any other questions? Senator Flores? No? Is there any, we don't have any other registered witnesses. Thank you for being here. Is there anyone else who would like to testify on, for, or against Senate Bill 856? Hearing none, the bill will be left pending, subject to the call of the chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. All right, let me see. I found it, don't worry. Howdy. The chair lays out Senate Bill 217 and Senate Bill 586 and recognizes Senator West to explain his bill.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and members. Senate Bill 217 creates the Historic Texas Freedmen's Cemetery Designation Program. This program is modeled after the Historic Texas Cemetery Designation Program and will allow the state to properly recognize those cemeteries that are in the final resting places of those persons held as